Junior 2000 here, coming at you with a movie review of Alien 3, which a lot of people think is a piece of shit, but I actually enjoyed this movie. Alien 3, when this 3 trilogy was made, they thought this was the last one. But no, because you would get Alien Resurrection, which would be next. Fucking sucks, right? The camera. But Alien 3, good movie. I don't think it's a piece of shit as everybody shouts, because everybody who loves the first two Aliens, especially Aliens, they were pissed at this movie because they went with a dark route where, they killed Newt and Hicks. And of course, when there was a teaser for it that was going to be in Earth, which they recycled that in AVP Requiem, which was a piece of shit. But would have been interesting for Alien 3, but they instead changed it into a prison planet where they crashed the ship that they went into from escape from the last movie. And it turns out there was a face hugger in the spaceship. And Ripley is there. She survives the crash. Bishop pretty much was buried with the crash, but she finds half of him. His carcass remains later in the movie and talks to him like what happened and all that shit. And more information that he knows about the whaling company. But it crash landed into this planet full of maximum men prisoners that are murderers and convicted rapists. So like really fucked up people in this movie, in this prison, that are inmates. And one leads to another. They find the carnage of Hicks being killed, and of course Newt being killed, and that pissed everybody off. But no, to me, I'd rather watch this than bullshit like Scream 5. That one, like that movie was more bullshit. Even Star Wars Last Jedi was a piece of shit. But Alien 3, Ripley gets fine and cleaned up and fixed up from her scars and injuries, and then she's talked to by this kind doctor, who turns out he was like a guy that poisoned a lot of people. So that's why he's a convict, but he's pretty much like the doctor of the prison. And one leads to another. She sees that Newt is dead. Sees that if she has a face hugger that got into her and Xenomorph's in her. No, there's nothing in her. She's fine. But it turns out the face hugger went on Ripley, and she's holding the Queen alien. And of course, they do a memorial burial for Hicks and Newt being thrown to the lava. And one leads to another. A face hugger goes into a dog and births it, but there's an assembly cut that has a cow being birthed with the xenomorph, and one leads to another. The cow is birthed with a xenomorph, or even the dog, but there's like two versions of it. I do like the assembly cut because that version is more extended and more violent. More violent than the theatrical cut, because like there's more violence and even more cursing in it. But they're in a prison. The inmates are kind of like giving a dirty look to Ripley a lot because they don't like that she's a female there. But one leads to another. She almost gets attempted rape in the movie, but Shara's Dutton's character, who turned out to be like a motherfucking rapist convict, saves Ripley's life from almost being raped. So he beats the shit out of the prisoners and saves her. And what leads to another. She picks up Bishop and finds out more information that the whaling company knows about this, and they're coming to this planet to save your queen. So they know about the facehugger. And what leads to another. All the prisoners are getting killed one at a time. So it goes like to the original route, like brought back to the original movie where it's one alien and it's killing everybody one at a time in the darkness and atmosphere. like same dark atmosphere as the first movie, which is pretty badass. And you get like a lot of bloody kills, like more violent kills in the assembly cut or extended cut, whatever the hell they want to call it. But assembly cut is better than the theatrical, and you get a lot of crazy shit. Even like you get Holt McCallany, he did work with David Fincher in this movie, and also would work with him in Fight Club and fuck. There was another movie he was in, but I know like Holt McCallany, who was in the Iron Claw playing Fritz von Erich recently in not last year a movie of the Von Erich family. He plays Fritz in that one. Good actor. But his scene is like in the assembly cut where he sacrificed himself, yelling at the Xenomorph, "Come on, motherfucker!" And then has it run for him, going chase after him. So he's like getting eaten off screen, where you see his scream is heard, and everybody's hearing the scream being eaten by the Xenomorph dragon dog, because they call it like a Xenomorph dragon. Like it looks like a dog mixed with a dragon look to it. So yeah, it's gotta be the best looking Xenomorph out there. And it's a pretty underrated movie because you get some lot of pretty dark shit in there where it's a lot of kills in this movie. Like this is probably like the most carnage kills that a Xenomorph has done in this movie in the franchise. Like they killed like almost like 35 prisoners and characters in the movie. Like almost 35 prisoners are eaten throughout the movie. And some of the prisoners are, of course, played by Shawsha's Dutton, who was in Surviving the Game with Roger Howard and Ice-T. You get Pete Postlethwaite, who was also in Ben Affleck's The Town, and he was in Dragonheart. Good actor, too. And I forgot the guy's name, but this bald-headed British guy, he was in the American Werewolf in London. He's like the bar patron in the Slaughter Lamb in American Werewolf in London, where he's like the guy that is like telling jokes, and he's even telling one of his bar patrons to shut up, not tell nothing to the doctor. That dude's in this movie, but he's like the asshole that doesn't listen to Ripley, and he gets captured by the Xenomorph and eaten off the roof. So that dude from American Werewolf in London, and yeah, you get Lance Harrigan playing Waylon Bishop, who's like the robot Bishop, and then playing the real Bishop at the end of the movie. But they do destroy the alien Xenomorph dragon by getting it covered in hot copper, but that didn't work. So instead, they got like stabbed with a crane and melted more, destroyed, and then the only last thing that they destroy is Ripley's Xenomorph, Queen Alien. And of course, Ripley shaved her head like everybody else in the movie because everybody's bald headed. And Signorgey Weaver wanted a lot of money for it, so they gave her money, and she did it for a lot of money by having her hair shaved, going all Sinead O'Connor. But yeah, all in all, Signorgey Weaver still looks fine, man. Like she's a good-looking lady in this movie still, even though she has like her haircut, she still looks fine, man. But of course, she sacrificed herself after Waylon like bullshits to her. "Oh, I'll take it out for you and you'll be alive." No, she said, "Fuck that." And she sacrificed herself by throwing herself to the lava and killing the Queen Alien itself and destroying it. And that's what concludes the movie, because you get like the light of the planet going like from the first movie. So that's supposed to set up like that it finally ended, where Ripley finally sacrificed herself by killing the Queen Alien. But yeah, for a while we thought this was the last movie until we got this one, which will be next. But Alien 3, I like this movie. I think it's the most darkest looking alien movie with the most badass looking alien. And you got like the most carnage kills, like probably the largest kill count in the franchise in this one. Like the Xenomorph dragon doesn't look too bad. It looks clunky in some CGI, but not a bad movie, and also not a bad movie directed by David Fincher. I know David Fincher had bad time with the filmmakers, so that's why he doesn't want to talk about this movie. But I like his directing, and he's a good director. From Seven to Zodiac from 2007 to Fight Club and to The Social Network. David Fincher's a good fucking director. And this is a badass movie from him. And it's a very underrated flick. Not a piece of shit. But see you in the next, folks. Have a good day, folks. See you in the next.